Okay, first thing, when you get the lock out, you put the key to the side, you take the stem and you unlock the knob so that it turns. You take your hand like this to where you can turn the knob like this. You go right. You find the hole in the stem and you turn right until you see the little button. You take your flathead screwdriver and you stick it in the hole. When you stick it, press the button down inside the hole, you force up. You'll feel it click, then you take your hands and pull the ball away from the stem. You want to make sure that the cylinder inside does not fall into the ball or it's a pain in the butt to get out. You then take your small screwdriver and you pry on the little rim that goes above it. With your finger, what we do is you put your finger on one side and push it through so it doesn't fall in there and the cylinder comes out. Next, you take your other tool, this tool right here. You can also do it with a screwdriver, but there's a black ring around here. You take your tool and you just wedge that ring off like that. Kind of just fit it down in there and wedge it. This little black O-ring will come off. Then what you do is you take the key that came with the lock and you put it in your cylinder like that. You take this tube, you put it on the back and you basically push it through. Now there's an easy key way. I choose not to do it that way, but you can just turn it and empty it out by the bottom, which is a lot easier for some people. I'm just old school, so I'll show you how that works. But this is how you do it if you want to push it out. The pins are in there. What you'll do is, I'll push it in here to also show you this way. This little thing is you push it to level up with the holes at the bottom of the cylinder like that, and then you get your key down and you pour the pins out. Then what you do is you take this key out and you can toss it, throw it away, whatever, and you get your new key, you put it in there and you key it to that number. This key is 1 5 4 3 2, and you stick it in the bottom like that. Then if you want a master key, you take your master key pins, you take this key out, you put your master key in, and basically you would just do the subtraction and level it out with your top pins. But I can talk more about that at another time. But what you do then is you put this back, you take the bottom right here and you just push it back in there so that it's not open anymore. You take your O-ring and you stick it back on the cylinder like so. Sometimes you need a little you take this tool, and I usually just push it on like that. Make sure that that ring goes into the gap on the lock right here. You'll see it. Then at that point it's keyed, and that's all you have to do. Check the key, pull it out, put it back in the knob, and then you just put everything back together. I do want to mention, if you ever drop pins that come off the top, then what you have to do is you have to take a small screwdriver and pry this top off right here like so. In the top of the pin, or in the top of the cylinder, you'll pry that piece off. In the top of the cylinder you have little springs. You just take these springs out, and in your keying kit there will be top pins, and basically what you're going to do is you're going to dump everything out and since we put the O-ring on, you'll have to take the O-ring off, but you'll start from scratch. You'll put this back in the knob, in the cylinder, and then you put your top pins in with those springs on top. You put your little silver piece back on top, and then you load the cylinder up as shown before. If you have any questions, give us a call back and I'd be glad to send you another video. But that should do it.